If you've hired a closer before and they keep leaving you or they don't stick around to actually get to the right numbers or they're just not performing in the right way, it's not because your offer is per se bad, it's not because they're absolutely terrible at sales. It's for a completely different reason. And this is not going to be a video where I'm just going to tell you to hire better or to pay more to the closers. No, because most founders, most companies to make the exact same mistake, which makes it happen that closers and salespeople keep leaving them, even though everything that they're selling is so good, the results are amazing, and their skills are also amazing. When it comes to my experience in this space, I have been a closer for 2 years, did very well in that, did very good months, and eventually I went into becoming a team leader. After a team leader, I eventually, of course, went into the place where I'm at right now, where I help companies instill full sales systems, where we also directly place salespeople and closers into their team. And I every single time see it happening for the exact same reasons with every company that people leave. When it comes to it, to take you through the core, when a closer or when someone is hiring with your company, they might on the outside to you look like an absolutely amazing fit because they have the experience in closing, but maybe not in the exact field that you're in. Maybe they have experience in B2C selling, but you have a B2B offer. So that's one thing already. You need to train them on actually getting to understand the offer. And that's where the first biggest mistake is. Companies, they don't know how to train a closer on actually understanding the offer. They just expect them to roll something out of their sleeve and to just start talking about the topic and getting people to pay. Of course, it doesn't work like that. They have to have an understanding from what they're selling. Otherwise, their whole conviction, their whole understanding from the product will be completely wrong. The prospect wouldn't get that from them, and then they're just directly out of the window. Another thing is a closer expects systems to be in place. They don't get paid by the hour, they get paid by performance, they get paid by the closes that they get in. So when a lead comes in, they want to have automations in place so they don't need to do all the nitty gritty work, which some VA could also be doing. So that's one other thing. And they don't like sitting around. A closer, a salesperson doesn't just want to sit here on a couch or on a chair and wait 10 minutes when someone is supposed to show up, but eventually they don't show up, and it's because the no-show rate is super high. Then maybe someone does show up and the qualification rate is super low. It's always the same thing. So that those are things that we need to fix. Of course, when it comes to getting the show rate to come up, getting the qualification rate to come up, we want to look into the acquisition compounder system, which I've talked about in a different video. I'll let it pop up here as well. But when it comes to that, we need to be able to increase our show rate. Let's say our show rate is at the moment 35%, which I've seen happening before with another company I've worked with. And a closer is sitting around. Well, at one point they're going to be like, you know what, this is wasting my time. In the time that they're not getting shows and they don't really have anybody to dial to actually get them on their call, they're going to look around for different opportunities. They see an opportunity and they jump from boat to boat. That's how closers and salespeople work. So we need to get them active. That's one thing. We need to make sure calls actually show up, that they at least get the volume that they're expecting to get when they jump onto your offer. Then eventually, of course, they jump on with people because you have the automations in place, because people are jumping on, getting actual calls, but eventually they're not qualified. They don't have money. That's another reason people, tend to leave the offers that are closing or dealing with, because they don't want to just do some free counseling. They want to, of course, be able to actually make bank as well. What we need to do there is, with the same reason as the show up rate, we need to increase both of them. So the show up rate, of course, comes down to automations, actual value that people are going to be like, okay, this is interesting, I want to show up. But then with the qualification rate, it's going to come down to actually targeting the right people in the advertisements, but also when they show up or when they book in, you give them a call, you check, hey, are you good for the meeting? You already ask them questions, already get them pre-qualified. And this is also something closers are okay with doing, but they need to have that task, that the SOPs need to be in place for them to just be able to pick up the phone, call, get them confirmed for the call, which directly increases show up rate even more, but also they're already more in touch with the lead. So the qualification on which that lead will be, or the quality of the lead, will already go up directly as well. And as well as all of those things, when we're sending a personalized video from the founder to each and every client that we're potentially going to work with, if the founder is very much in the driving seat when it comes to how the offer actually is based, people are like, okay, this is the guy I'm going to be working with. Now I already have an idea. So they're actually going to be a lot more interested in also showing up and also actually having a good call. When a closer doesn't see that, they're going to leave, of course. But another very, very, very big reason that closers and salespeople leave, this is the absolute biggest one, is always the same thing. Because the sales managers, the founders, they either treat a salesperson like garbage, doesn't really care about them, and just expect them to work around the clock, just do whatever they want and be free labor. Well, if you do that, then maybe you will be able to get very bad closes, very bad salespeople, but you're never going to get the right people, first of all. But also, even if you would get the right person, they would see that this is how you're going to be treating them, they're basically going to put up their middle finger and say, bye-bye, I don't want to work with you anymore. So they're directly out of the door. And then you start blaming it on the people that, well, who they are, on their closing experience, on how they should show up and just put in the effort and they will be able to get a close. No, that's not how it works. You have put in effort, but they're not there to build your company for you. They need to be able to get something to put in the effort. Of course, the closer is still going to need to do work, for sure. But a closer shouldn't be fixing your problems when it comes to acquisition, when it comes to show up rate. That's something that you should have in place already. But when it comes to the founder and the sales managers as well, you need to train with them. You need to be in constant communication with them. Salespeople are very hungry. Like when they have a target, they're going to go for it. They're going to go full force. They're going to attack it like they're crazy, like they're hungry and they haven't eaten in 10 days. But when, let's say, times are a little bit slower, when we're not communicating well with them, we're not training with them, again, they're going to start looking around for different opportunities, even though your opportunity is so good, but we're just fixing the marketing at that point. Have daily, almost a couple of times a week communication so that they actually have that back and forth. Jump onto one-on-ones with them. See the progress that they're making. Actually offer guidance for them as well so that they can grow. But also, again, a system. When they come in, they have a full onboarding system, have trainings already in place that they can go through for the first few months of being in the offer. Their close rate is going to, first of all, skyrocket. So you're going to make a lot more money, but they are also going to make a lot more money. And because they're making a lot of money, you're communicating with them a lot. They have people that actually show up in their calendars that are also qualified. They're going to be like, this is the place I want to be. This is the place I want to stick, and I want to keep growing here. But if that's all not the case, or maybe they have very good calls but very little, they're going to look for different things. So we need to be able to actually get them to stick. And that's by getting those things in order. Having the system, so closing calls actually show up and are actually qualified. Having actual good conversations and good communications with the salespeople too. That's a very, very big thing. But then as well, the trainings, big thing. Like when a closer gets starting, when they see that you're actually interested in them as well, they're going to show up at their best every single day. They're going to want to make you win because that's directly going to make them win as well. That's the big key to actually getting salespeople to stay on board and also to actually be willing and wanting to work and put all of the effort in with you, side by side with you. If you're looking to get help with this, let me know. We'll jump on a meeting and we'll see how we can implement this for you. If you feel like you just want to implement this for yourself, give me a text and I'll send you over the framework of how I have done this before with other salespeople that I've worked with before.